Doma. Doma is a major supporting antagonist of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. He is a demon affiliated with the 12 Kazuki, holding the second highest position, upper rank 2, Jogen no Ni. Over a century ago, Doma held the position of upper rank 6, Jogen no Roku, and during that tenure, he turned Jotaro and Daki into demons and introduced them into the 12 Kazuki. He is also the leader of the Eternal Paradise Faith, a cult dedicated to worshipping Doma and a place where he listens to all his followers' troubles and gives them advice. It also acts as a place for Doma to capture and kill humans. This cult also took in Inosuke Hashibara's mother, Kotoha Hashibara, before Doma killed her for finding out that he was eating his followers. Appearance. Doma is a tall young man with a toned and muscular body, who is of a notably pale complexion and possessed unusually long, pointed nails that appeared to be stained with a pale blue color. His hair could appear either silver or a pale golden blonde, and he wore it parted to his left, the shorter parts around his face seeming to flare out to either side around his head, curving backwards with one strand left down his face to fall between his eyes, while the longer parts were left to drape centrally down his back in a thinning spiral. His eyes have been described to be incredibly rare and beautiful, as, in color, they appear to be made up of an array of rainbow pastel tones that fade into one another as they circle his irises, this unusual appearance even causing people to believe Doma is a blessed being who could communicate with the gods. The kanji for upper rank, Jogen, and 2, Ni. Or upper rank, Jogen, and 6, Roku, at the time when he first met Jotaro and Daki, is etched across them, and they were shaped to slope downwards towards the sides of his face, with a set of notably large, thick black eyebrows acting to frame them above. Personality. Doma is outwardly friendly, possessing an approachable and charismatic air and described to talk and act in a calm and carefree manner by Kane Kocho. However, it is soon revealed that Doma has psychopathic tendencies, adopting sick beliefs and habits like ruthlessly and happily murdering and devouring his cult's followers and young women under the belief that he is saving them from their suffering by letting them live inside his body. Under his carefree and unassuming demeanor, Doma is a cold and calculating individual that possesses extremely keen intellect. His high intelligence may be the reason why he looks down on humans, genuinely believing that they are pathetic and stupid, to the point where he cried out of pity for them. His condescending attitude towards humans was also showcased when he was decapitated by the combined efforts of Shinobu Kocho, Inosuke Hashibara, and Kaneo Tsuyuri, where he felt insulted to be killed by individuals which he thought lowly of. It is later revealed that Doma is clinically apathetic, being completely emotionless and unable to experience proper emotions. Doma himself admitted that the concept of emotion was completely foreign to him, even as a human. Aware that this is abnormal, Doma compensated his empty heart with his own charisma, learning to express his carefree demeanor enough to deceive all but the most keen observers. In spite of his apathy, Doma has a disturbing habit of primarily eating young women, as evident by most of his cult followers being women. One exception to this was Inosuke's mother, Kotoha Hashibara, who Doma didn't want to kill and instead wanted to keep by his side until she died of natural causes, though he eventually killed her when she tried to escape. In addition to his incapability to feel genuine emotion, Doma also possesses masochistic pain tolerance, comparable to congenital analgesia. He had been shown to have several disturbing habits such as sticking his finger into his skull, puncturing a hole straight through his temples, and then fondling and fiddling with his brain in order to stimulate his memories from his long life with a completely serene expression in his face. Doma has even implied that he actually enjoys these physical abuses as seen when he morbidly asked Muzan with excitement on what type of extreme self-harm he should inflict on himself as punishment for his failure, and again expressed delight upon the severe pain he felt at Shinobu Kocho's numerous attempts to poison him to death and even cheerfully expresses his delight on the feelings and sensations of the poison destroying his body and how he might actually grow to like it. Despite leading a cult, Doma is a nihilistic atheist who staunchly believes that gods, Buddhas, and the afterlife does not exist. He believed that after death there is nothing and that people who could not accept something so simple are naive and dumb. However, after his death, he accepted that he is wrong and that heaven and hell actually do exist. Doma also displayed what arguably is his first true emotion, love, when he proclaimed his love for Shinobu after finding her cute. Abilities. Overall abilities. As the holder of the second highest position in the 12 Kazuki, Doma is an extremely powerful demon, being the second highest ranking member in the 12 Kazuki and the third strongest demon in existence. His combination of combat skill and his powerful cryokinetic blood demon art in battle is powerful enough to overwhelm and defeat the insect Hashira, Shinobu Kocho, without any difficulty, and he is also noted to have defeated Kane Kocho, the late flower Hashira, in the past. Apathy. Doma is clinically apathetic, being completely incapable of feeling human emotion. Doma covers his emotionlessness with a carefree and friendly facade that was able to trick all but the most keen observers. Kaneo is the only human that was able to discern his true disposition using her superhuman eyesight, and concluded that Doma merely acts like he shows emotions in hopes that one day he would actually be able to feel human emotions himself, a concept which he admitted seemed alien to him. Biological absorption. Doma briefly displayed the ability to absorb human bodies through physical contact, shown when he completely broke down and assimilated Shinobu's body within only a few seconds of killing her. He mostly uses this ability as a faster alternative of consuming humans during battle. Extrasensory perception. Doma possesses extraordinary sensory abilities which allow him to detect things outside the normal range of perception, as shown when he could perceive attacks even from places he is not looking at, allowing him to nullify the effectiveness of sneak attacks. Later, Doma was capable of detecting Akaza's transformation into a demon immune to decapitation by Nichiren swords despite being extremely far away from him. Immense durability. As an upper-rank demon who has assimilated a huge amount of Muzen's blood, Doma has an exceptionally durable body. This is shown when Kaneo had difficulty slicing Doma's neck even when his body was unable to regenerate properly. Kaneo only succeeded in decapitating the upper rank when Inosuke used his swords to push her blade through Doma's neck. Immense speed and reflexes. Doma possesses inhuman movement speed and reflexes, being able to move so fast he appears to teleport. Due to their rankings, it is strongly suggested that Doma is faster than Akaza, who was able to keep up with a marked Joe while holding back, and Jutaro who was able to keep up with and overpower Tengen, the fastest runner among this generation's Hashira. He first displayed his immense speed during the upper rank meeting, where he appeared to teleport to Gyako, which caught him off guard. Immense regeneration. As an upper-rank demon, Doma possesses one of the most advanced and powerful regenerative healing factors in existence. When Akaza punched off both his lower jaw and his upper head and he instantly healed with ease, even considering the fatal attack to be a friendly gesture. Doma also took mere seconds to recover from Shinobu's onslaught of fatal wisteria poison attacks and from a deep slash in his abdomen which caused his guts to spill out. Even when Doma absorbed Shinobu's body and ingested over 37 kilograms worth of poison, approximately 700 times more than the lethal amount needed to kill an average demon, it still took a considerable amount of time before it began to have any adverse effect on him. Reactive adaptation. During his battle against Shinobu, he is able to break down and render all of the various poison mixtures Shinobu injected into him useless, immediately developing antibodies to her poison without much trouble. Shinobu herself was shocked at how fast Doma built a resistance to her normally fatal poison. Keen intellect. Doma is exceptionally intelligent, which he displayed on multiple occasions. While in a fast-paced brawl with Kaneo, he was able to process and deduce her abilities, surmising that it was her superhuman eyesight that allowed her to parry and dodge his ice attacks and immediately develop a strategy to counter it. Unlimited stamina and endurance. Doma possesses absolute and infinite stamina and vitality, never tiring and always remaining in optimal physical and mental condition all the time, as well as being able to endure waves of onslaught as if it were nothing. He showed almost complete immunity to being repeatedly violently attacked by his fellow upper rank, Akaza, having his eyes slashed out by Inosuke, being repeatedly poisoned and stabbed by Shinobu, having his stomach slashed open by Kaneo, and inflicting various forms of extreme self-harm to himself. Fighting style. Tessenjutsu. Doma is incredibly skilled in Tessenjutsu as shown during his battles against the demon slayers. It is implied that his skill in this martial arts surpasses Akaza's barefisted combat prowess due to their rankings. Blood Demon Art. Cryokinesis. Doma's Blood Demon Art grants him extremely powerful cryokinesis. He can generate ice and frost from his flesh and blood and can spawn it anywhere in his vicinity, as well as manipulating it at will, allowing him to unleash incredibly potent ice techniques. Additionally, the ice created from his Blood Demon Art is extremely lethal to those that inhale it, causing the cells of the victim's lungs to die and rendering them unable to breathe very quickly. Techniques. Frozen Lotus, Hajihogori. Doma delivers a forward fan slash that creates razor-sharp ice shards along with several ice lotuses. Barren Hanging Garden, Karasono Shizuri. A series of 8 to 10 successive fan attacks that generates ice shards to slice the enemy into pieces. Freezing clouds, Itegumori. Doma creates a large wave of cold wind and uses his fans to scatter them. This technique nearly froze Kaneo's eyeballs. Lotus vines, Tsuru Renge. Similar to his frozen lotus technique, Doma creates several lotuses made of ice and long frost vines that extend his reach and can capture or slice up his opponents. Cold White Princesses, Kenretsu no Shiraheim. Doma creates the upper body of 2 female humanoid figures at the end of lotuses using ice with the ability to blow icy air towards his target. The wind generated was cold enough to instantly freeze the surrounding wood bridges and water. Kaneo noted that this technique is extremely broad and has a long reach. Wintry Icicles, Fuser Tsurara. Doma spawns numerous icicles to impale his target. Scattering Lotuses, Chiri Renge. Doma swings his fans and creates a blizzard of long-ranged razor-sharp ice shards shaped like lotus petals. Crystalline Divine Child, Kesho no Miko. Doma creates miniature ice replicas of himself to battle his opponents. He has shown to be capable of creating up to 6 clones of himself at once, all possessing roughly the same skill and proficiency as Doma himself, in addition to being fully capable of using any of his techniques, albeit not to the same caliber as him. Furthermore, these clones are able to record any information it gathers during battle and relay it to Doma, allowing him to better fight his opponents. However, one drawback to this technique is that the clones require concentration in order to maintain their functionality, as seen when they disappeared when Shinobu's poison started to take effect on Doma. Rhyme, Water Lily Bodhisattva, Muyo, Swearin Bosatsu. Doma creates an enormous Bodhisattva statue surrounded by lotuses made of ice. Its most notable trait is its ability to generate huge gusts of Doma's deadly ice from its mouth and deliver powerful physical attacks using its large arms. It is also able to grab targets using its hands.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.